Hi all. So in this video, we will learn how to create a database and a table in MySQL Workbench. So as we installed in the last video, MySQL Workbench 8.0, and we have the shell and the command line. So we will open the MySQL Workbench. So this is the landing page of the MySQL Workbench. As you saw in the last installation video, we created this local host. When you click on it, you have the MySQL Workbench editor open. So as we discussed, here we can see this is the navigator where we can see all our schemas, which is the databases. And this is the query editor where we will write our queries. And this is the action output. And here are the SQL additions. And with the help of these three, we can modify our screens. For example, if we click on this, we will not have the output window. And if we click on this, the snippets will go. Okay, so let us start our first exercise, that is creating a SQL database. So you can create an SQL database with the help of this option, which is create a new schema in the connected server. Or you can come here and when you click anywhere here, you have an option to create a schema. So let's do it by this option. So once you click on create schema, let's give a name, DB1. Let's have default char set and default coalition. Apply. When you come to the screen, you see create schema. PriyaDB1 is the default command to create a schema or a database. You click apply. SQL script was successfully applied to the database. And we click finish. Let's refresh. So this is the schema that we just create. So this is the default schema that we just created. If you expand it, you will get all these options: views, stored procedures, functions. So PriyaDB1 is the schema. When I click on it, you can also see that schema PriyaDB1 is written in green. That means this is the default schema selected. Now let us create tables within our schemas. So this is the option to create a new table in the active schema in connected server. That means if I click on this one, that means this one is selected and whatever table I will be creating will be created under this database. So either we right click and create table, or we click on this icon which is shown by my cursor. It will help us to create a table. When I click on create table, let's create an employees table all in small characters. Let's hide this and start creating. It will be default char set and default coalition. And let's choose the column names. So to create columns, just click here and you'll be able to create the columns. Let's first create employee ID column. The data type will be integer. And let's create this as a primary key and not null. Okay. So we have created employee ID, which is the first column. The data type is integer. It's the primary key, and this is not null. So these are actually the constraints. Let's create another column by double clicking employee name. It's a var-char of 45 characters. Let's make it 60. And let's do it as not null. Next is let's have the department name. They are part of var-char 45 is fine and not null. And let's also create city var-char 45 not null. So we have created these 4 columns in our table name, which is employees under the schema PriyaDB1. And we apply it. So once we click on apply, this is the default query which will be used when you create a table. For example, the syntax will be create table within the DB1 database, employees, employee ID, that means the column name, data type, and the constraint. The constraint is not null, that this cannot be null. Next is the employee name. The data type is VAR-CHAR and then not null. And then the department name, VAR-CHAR, not null. City, VAR-CHAR, not null. And the primary key is employee ID, which we declared earlier. We claim apply and finish. SQL script was successfully applied to the database. Once I finish, let's refresh it and click on this. We will be able to see our employees table. And when we click on this icon, you will be able to see the table in the result grid. And see, the query is written select star from Priya DB1 employees. So everything in SQL starts from select from where. So from where it is picking the data? It is picking the data from Priya DB1 database. Within that database, we have a table which is employees. Let us insert some values. You just double click on it and we'll be able to fill up the details. Yes. Okay. Next employee. HR. Finance. IT. Chennai. So once you fill up the details, click apply. And see, this is the syntax to insert values. Insert into what is the database name, the table name, and then you put the name of the columns, which is employee ID, name, department name, city, values, and then you fill up the values with this syntax. Apply. SQL script was successfully applied to the database. Finish. So now let's close this and let's see what we have in the table. So this is our database. When we expand, we have the tables. When we expand the tables, we have the employee. And then when we click on this icon, we'll be able to see our table. Let's create one more table within this database that will be a department table. And again, cat set coalition default, and then this one default coalition. We'll create column names. First, we'll create department ID. Will be integer. Let's make it a primary key and not null. We have the department name. It will be var-char because it will be character and not null. And then we can have department. So let's keep it not null. Let's apply and fill up the values. So again, create table. Within that database, you have the department and then you have the column name, data type, and the constraint with the primary key as department ID. Apply, finish. Let's go to the table and fill up the values. So department. So this is the table which we just created. So now you can see that within the database, we have two tables, department and employees. Since department table is showing all null because we are yet to fill up the values. Let's double click and fill up the values. Operations. Let's say it's not zone. HR. South. Let's click apply. and then again insert into database, department, and the values. Apply, finish. So this is the way how we can create a database and tables in MySQL Workbench. So in this video, we learned how we can create a database, how we can create a table, and how we can insert values within the table. Thanks for watching.